with the Hunter Renfrow stuff.
Yeah, of course.
A lot of what you see online, right, is like the theories of you got this log jam, this hypothetical log jam, right, in the slot with Adam Thielen, Hunter Renfrow, that a lot of people think share the same type of archetype. They're the same type of player, right? They add the same value to a football team or to an offense at least. Then you got Jalen Coker. I think Jalen Coker's probably going to see a little bit more outside reps, I would guess, if they really like what Hunter and Adam provide inside, right? And you probably want Xavier Legette to do a little bit of moving around and be a little bit more of a chess piece than just slotting him over on the outside. Um, is there any credence, Alex, in your opinion, to this theory that if Hunter Renfrow keeps showing out, that Adam Thielen could be shopped and dealt and becomes like expendable to this team in any kind of way, even though he literally said he's coming back to play with Bryce, right? But is there anything to that you get a sense that this is something that team might think about or consider?
Ricky, you know what's nuts? Mike K was like, "Hey, they're probably going to ask you this question." And I was just like, no,
and he told you, he said, "Don't answer it, Alex." He's like, "Don't do
it." They said, I was like, "No, Mike, they're not going to put me on the spot like that. They wouldn't."
I did. I'm sorry. You don't have to answer it. I was just wondering if you had like if you got a feeling that it was a realistic even possibility, right?
Anything is a possibility. The way that I am approaching that question now at this point in camp is, and I think I'm one of the few who truly believe this, I think the Panthers are going to keep seven wide receivers on their 53-man roster.
Yeah.
They did so in 2024. They did so in 2023. I know. In 2024, they kept seven, and then they got 6 waiver wire guys, and they cut 2 of those wide receivers in Jalen Coker and Amir Smith-Marset. So they ultimately ended up having 5, whatever. The thing is with this team is like who of the 7 guys, and of course the 7 are Teteroa McMillan, Adam Thielen, Hunter Renfrow, Xavier Legette, Jimmy Horn Jr.,
David Moore,
and then wait, I skipped over somebody. Oh, and Jalen Coker. Of those 7, who do you get rid of? If you want to cut it down to 6. Some people have posited the idea of initially cutting David Moore and bringing him on the practice squad because he is a vested veteran. And so if he does make the initial 53-man roster, there's some guaranteed money that's required, and he's a bit more expensive by vice of the fact he's been in the league a little longer than some of these other guys, which, by the way, doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me, but I'm not part of the NFLPA collective bargaining agreements, but that doesn't seem to make much sense. But if you subscribe to that theory, then I guess that makes sense. To your theory of having Adam Thielen and Hunter Renfrow being duplicative, I don't subscribe to that at all. Bryce Young had a completely awful rookie year, but Adam Thielen was part of it. Adam Thielen had a renaissance that year. Adam Thielen was probably going to be the leading receiver last year before he messed up his hamstring and had to miss a whole bunch of games. I don't see the vice in having 2 guys who, if they do serve the same purpose, why is that a bad thing? If you know what I'm saying?
Right. That was Bryce's favorite receiver. What's the problem of having another guy that he's great with, right?
And I also think, and I get it. I do get it. But I think saying that they're the same receiver is quite reductive because Hunter Renfrow is a Pro Bowler who has craftsman-like ability with his route running. Adam Thielen is known to be this reliable, sure-handed guy. They are slightly different. I know that they might look the same or whatever, but they are slightly different. So Dave Canales is interesting in building, you've probably heard in his press conferences, in building a basketball team with his receivers, whole bunch of body types, whole bunch of people. And I think there's truth in that Hunter Renfrow and Adam Thielen are a bit different. But you can never have too many possession wide receivers. I think you do need some explosive guys, but that's what the draft is for. That's what you got Xavier Legette for. That's what you got Teteroa for. It's not bad to have a Pro Bowler and a guy who's undergoing a renaissance with this Bryce Young guy on your roster at the same time. That's my thought. That's my thoughts on that. I know it's a cop out to say that we're going to keep 7 wide receivers, but that's how I stand right now.
I think that was a